Has your wife ever wanted to get away from the late fall cold? So you take her out west to get her away from the said cold? Well, that's exactly what Newt Rockne did with his Notre Dame Fighting Irish football team. And so began one of the greatest intersectional rivalries in college football history. Draft picks, Heisman Trophy winners, All Americans, national champions. You cannot talk about any of those things without mentioning these two. So many instant classics and a handful of beatdowns and a whole lot of history and bad blood. Folks, it's number 13 Notre Dame. It's number 20 USC in prime time under the lights at Notre Dame Stadium.
By Samardzija, inside the 20, inside the 10, he's going in! Notre Dame has scored!
Go! You will be that driving force to motivate those coaches and those players to beat Southern Cal!
Notre Dame is relevant again.
The 20, the 10, fire, rocket, touchdown!
Notre Dame is number one!
It's a game of who's going to flinch first. We know that isn't going to be Notre Dame.
Hello again, everybody. Landed Trailer with Logan Trailer, Dylan Kearns, and John Richards. It is USC week. So much is on the line Saturday night. I still think more for us than USC, as the Trojans still have a shot at the Big Ten. JR, USC week, take us through what this series has meant to Notre Dame and will continue to mean to Notre Dame through a historical standpoint.
Greatest intersectional rivalry in history. That's the way they bill it. This dates back hundred years at least. Like you noted, Newt took his wife out there. She wanted to get away from the snow, hang out in LA, do a little beauty shopping, people watching, maybe catch a little football, a little BTA out on the West Coast while we're at it. And here we are. This might be the last one. I hope not. But it's sure going to be a big one, and let's get ready to rock.
I'm pretty confident that it will not be the last one. I've been reading some stuff, very confident. Logan, USC week, you've faced a lot of rivals in your time. What is the message to the team before facing a rival, and what's the week of prep look like? Does it look any different than what it usually does?
In terms of your preparation, it shouldn't look any different. Obviously the intensity is a little more amped up. You're looking forward to this one, especially, in their spot right now, not knowing if both schools will be able to figure out, moving forward. But, you got to embrace the preparation that comes along with a big game. And for us, luckily, we've been in this spot before. Especially last year, every week for us is a big game. You can't overlook anybody with the situation we put ourselves in this year with losing to A&M in Miami, the situation we put ourselves in last year, losing to NIU. This is a must-win situation. So I think they understand that. I think Marcus understands that. But it's a rivalry for a reason. And I think that there's it's so important for us to win this game Saturday. And when you add the rivalry on top of it as a fan, you get nervous and you want to make sure that, you come out with the result that you want, but the result comes from the preparation and the work you put into for this week.
Absolutely. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't nervous for this one. I am nervous. Dylan, it's a must win for both. However, I think we have more to lose than USC.
I'd agree with that. I mean, with us, we're cooked. We don't have a championship to save us. We don't have anything else. We have losses to, two fantastic teams right now on paper. Just look at what they've done in terms of their record with A&M and Miami and the convincing wins they've had. Losing by a combined 4 to those two, you can get away with that. Sneak your way in if you run out. You lose to USC, your biggest rival, you have 3 losses. Smell you later. JR's quote. That's it. Pack it up, you're done. And I do fear for this game. I think an underlying thing to look at here is Marcus Freeman's big games at Notre Dame. At home against good teams, he really hasn't had a big win. He fell to Ohio State. He fell to Texas A&M. He's lost a couple bad games at Notre Dame Stadium. this is a guy that gets his guys ready every single win. I mean, I guess you could still the IU playoff win last year is big, but
Clemson.
that's true. But I mean, that was Clemson was a different team back then. There was like that was not as big of a statement win as you could have had in any of these other games in terms of what we've seen in recent memory. I think that has been something that has left a sour taste in the mouth of maybe the preparedness at home against these teams. I don't think he's as good of a home coach in these big matchups as he is on the road.
Pumpkin Patch with a little bit of fire in him today. Hey there, Pumpkin Patch. All right. Well, we got our little segment out. Number 20, USC, the Trojans of Southern California, enter 5-1 on the year. They started off 4-0, beating Missouri State, Georgia Southern, Purdue, and Michigan State before falling at number 23, Illinois, 34-32. They were down pretty big in that game, if I remember correctly, and they had to fight their way back. Took a 32-31 lead, actually, and then Illinois walked it off with a field goal at the very end. So they trailed, they came back, they don't quit. It's a Lincoln Riley team. And then, of course, last week they absolutely embarrassed and dismantled number 15 Michigan last weekend. 31-13 behind 158 rushing yards from the backup running back, King Miller. As expected, USC has an explosive offense. 45 points per game, 325 pass yards per game with just 2 interceptions and 226 rush yards per game. So, Dylan, it's a Lincoln Riley team. We've seen Lincoln Riley be a head coach for a very long time. He follows a pattern. His offenses are great. We'll talk about the defense in a minute, but just focus on the offense here. We're going to have our hands full again.
Yeah, we are. Mayava's a great quarterback. He's always done good with these. I mean, that's a quarterback whisperer right there with Lincoln Riley. Someone that plays the developed quarterbacks during his time. Caleb Williams there at Oklahoma, everything that he did at that place too. I mean, just everything that he's done, he's able to just get the most out of his quarterbacks and his offense. I mean, that's his name of the game. But I mean, this team coming in, of course, I mean, their offense is solid, but I think we got to look at Notre Dame's defense as being a strength again right now.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Ash figured something out. I mean, they're forcing turnovers, they're getting sacks, they're getting pressure. And this is something that we haven't seen through the early part of the year, but they've really turned it on. So I think this is USC's biggest test in terms of a good defense. I think that Notre Dame's defense is going to show up in this game, and maybe we can neutralize their offensive firepower.
Interesting. So, Logan, do you think they'll take those deep shots over the top that we've been getting burnt on a couple weeks straight?
Yeah, I think that USC has figured out their identity offensively pretty much like every year since Lincoln's been there. I think that they know what they want to do. They do it really well. They have a lot of guys that can make plays, especially in space, as we saw in the Michigan game. But what was weird for me watching that Michigan SC game last week, you haven't seen a USC team be able to dominate up front and really run the ball, and this team can. And against a Michigan team who, a little overrated. I don't feel like getting attacked by those guys, so I'll keep it like that. But at the end of the day, USC found a rhythm running the ball, dominated the line of scrimmage on both sides, which you haven't seen. So I think it's a much improved SC team than we saw last year. Is it better than the Caleb Williams team that came in a couple years ago? I don't know. But like Dylan said, Mayava is, man, he made some throws just like, wow. Like, I think they talked, their fans talk about him like we talk about CJ in ways. I think he can make plays. I think he's super composed. He worries me. So, I think it'll be a good test for our defense. Our defense has improved probably dramatically throughout the year. So now we'll see if that improvement is just fugazi by playing, Arkansas and Boise, but in NC State, so it'll be a big test for us defensively. I'm curious to see what the game plan is from Chris Ash and Marcus Freeman.
Absolutely. As you mentioned, Jaden Mayava, holy crap, this kid's good. You know, one thing, he was a backup quarterback last year. He was always fighting for a starting spot. He finally got his chance, and then he throws 2 pick sixes at the end of the Notre Dame-USC game last year. You're damn right that that's going to be in the back of his head the entire game because USC had a chance. It was 35-28. They had it on their side of the ball or our side of the field, and we're about to score. And he threw 2 pick sixes to wrap it up. So you can bet your ass that that will be in the back of his head. He's thrown for over 1,800 yards this year already. 13 touchdowns, just 2 interceptions. He's accurate. He doesn't turn the ball over, and he can sling it like no other. Running back Wayman Jordan suffered an ankle injury and is out for the rest of the season, 4 to 6 weeks, so regular season that is. King Miller, their backup running back, 310 yards, 3 touchdowns, including 158 last week, as I mentioned. And Eli Sanders, their third string running back, even gets in 264 yards and 2 touchdowns on the season. And then Makai Lamone, 682 yards and 6 touchdowns on the year for wide receiver 1. JR, these receivers, you could make an argument that they're the best wide receivers, the fastest wide receivers that we've seen all season long.
It's usually how it is at USC. Look at the litany of players they got playing in the NFL on Sundays right now. I mean, they're always loaded at the wide receiver position. You better hold the lemon tree down because that guy get going too. We got our hands cut out for us. The biggest thing I'll say with this game is the physicality. Logan, you made a great point. The team that's more physical always wins this game. I really like the spot. They're coming off a tough physical game with Michigan. Now they're coming all the way back. I wish it was going to be a little bit colder.
Yeah.
But I suspect, it's great to have Leonard Moore back. You're going to match him up on their best receiver. They'll probably cut the field down in half somehow. They'll scheme it up. But we got this is a big test here and no room for error because this is probably our last shot at having the best quality win left on our schedule. I don't know how Pitt is going to fare the rest of the way out or Navy. But we got to stack this one. I'm concerned a little bit about our maturity level as opposed to last year with Riley Leonard. I think that's part of the reason that we lost the first 2 games. You look at a guy like Carson Beck. He looked calm and composed. We had Carr. He was his first start, a little frazzled, still kind of a little shaky coming into the A&M game. We didn't play the cleanest game there. We haven't played the cleanest game since. We got to put all 3 phases together, but I'm going to center all of this around who's the more physically dominant team. You look at some of the big games between Notre Dame and USC in the past. Who hits who harder in the mouth and who continues to do that for 4 straight quarters?
Historically, it's been us. Defensively for the USC Trojans, they averaged just giving up 21 points per game. This is by far the best Lincoln Riley defense at USC, which is what scares me. They did give up 31 to Michigan State earlier in the year. Michigan State, kind of a sneaky. They're a weird team. They allow 244 pass yards per game with 13 passing touchdowns on the season, 109 rush yards a game only. They've only allowed 3 rushing touchdowns this entire year, and 2 of them came in garbage time when they were up on Missouri State and Georgia Southern. 8 interceptions on the year they have taken away and 20 sacks. 20 sacks. The D-line is number 5 of the country. It's not going to be easy, Dylan, to run the ball, especially with the banged-up O-line as we already are.
Yeah, those 3 rushing touchdowns, you can go ahead and double that with what we're going to bring to the table. I think these Notre Dame backs are no joke. You're looking at, a preseason Heisman candidate with Jeremiah Love, and of course the burst we've seen from Price. And God forbid we go to the Wildcat. Nobody can stop the Wildcat, so maybe we'll score on the Wildcat run. But no, you got a point. That D line's legit. Like if the Notre Dame offensive line isn't ready, I mean, CJ is going to feel what it's like being in college football. Like, he hadn't taken too many shots outside of his own being with his runs that he had early on in the year. I mean, he really hasn't had a game where, all right, rivalry game at home, need it. Like, it would be nice to win earlier in those games he was playing, but this one's a need it kind of win against a rival. They're going to be pissed off, fired up. They feel on top of the world after beating Michigan. They think that's their get right. Here we go. They're playing going into this environment. I mean, pass rush always travels. Bad O lines don't always travel, but that doesn't matter for the Irish because they're at home. But I mean, if they don't find a way to scheme up protections, CJ Carr is going to be have a pretty dirty jersey after this game.
Absolutely. And the USC is going to make CJ Carr beat them, I think. I am honestly going into this game, I'm not expecting much from the Jays. I don't think we'll be able to run the ball as effectively as we have. I'm really nervous about their defensive line and our offensive line.
We couldn't run the ball. We couldn't move the line of scrimmage against NC State all day long.
Exactly.
That was a really disappointing thing to watch last Saturday. I mean,
Exactly
it really was.
Exactly my point. And I think USC is going to take little notes from NC State and also make CJ Carr beat them. It's almost like beating Purdue in basketball. Let Edey have his points and guard the rest of the guys. So with that being said, if it comes down to a special teams play in terms of field goals, advantage USC. Unfortunately, I feel. But with that, we will move on to our keys to the game. We'll start with Logan with 3 here.
One for me is, we kind of talked about it, but we got to have confidence defensively. And I think, that you're starting to see that swagger back and starting to see our defense truly impact the game. Continue to be confident, in your ability. And that leads me to my second one. With that clarity, we got to get to Mayava. We got to make him uncomfortable, put him in a position where he does have to make a play.
Right.
I think that's critical. We can't not put pressure on him where it's going to be a long night for us. And then the third one, our generic one, but win the turnover battle. We can't afford turnovers. And, the Price fumble, did it affect the outcome? No, but fumbling at the 2, isn't ideal. 2 4th and 1 calls, don't execute, don't convert it, turn it over. So we got to win that battle, and we got to take care of the football, and we got to convert in those short yard situations. So those 3, are important to me, and have confidence in our own line to be able to figure it out and get a push. But I think those 3 are critical for our success.
I like that. Good 3 there, Logan. JR, moving along to you.
Well, 1 and 2 tied together. I've already mentioned 2 of them. The physicality and the mature way that we handle 60 minutes. It's got to be a full, concentrated 60 minutes. USC has to understand that it's going to be an incredibly long night, not just on the field, but in that stadium at 7:30, right?
Mm-hmm.
Be loud, proud, definitely gassed up. Mm-hmm. And my last one, I'm going to go Lenny on Lemon. Leonard Moore on their guy Lemon. We need to lock him up, put him down, put him out there, just let him cover him all game long. Don't worry about it. Those are my 3.
Interesting.
Physicality, maturity. I'm really worried about our maturity level. I think we do miss Riley Leonard. You see it especially in the short yardage situations. 4th and 1, the last 2 weeks, we've kind of been unsure about how we want to solve those kind of riddles. You kind of saw it with the Wildcat early on with Miami and A&M. That really didn't take hold. Who do we have on offense? Denbrock last week, he was, what are we doing? We're kind of overthinking it at times too. Those are my 3.
Yeah, not real confident here. Dylan?
I'm gonna go into something that my NFL team struggles with, and that's self-inflicted wounds. Um, don't create problems for yourself. That's been something they've done the last 2 weeks, you could say. Like I mentioned playing with your food last week. It's sort of the same boat early in last week's game. Like you had opportunities and couldn't execute. You couldn't get down the field. You couldn't, in crucial moments, you couldn't execute what you had planned all week. So that's my number one thing is make it flow. Like I've mentioned, and it still holds true because they scored in every quarter last week. They've scored in every quarter dating back to the fourth quarter of Purdue. That's huge. So you continue to do that. That's going to be great, but you got to help with your self-inflicted wounds. That's number one. Number two, and you kind of hit the nail on the head talking about the USC pass rush. You got to block. If you don't block, you're going to be put behind the chains. You're going to be throwing like it shrinks your playbook. So, I mean, I saw reports. Maybe it was in this group chat. I can't remember. Maybe Kenny Minchie gets a little run in there. Some little things that they have schemed up that they were talking about. It might have been on a Notre Dame page. They're going to try him in a couple, maybe potential running situations, get his legs in the game. Could be something to keep in mind. Maybe that's something they go with. But number two, they just got to block. Find ways to get yards. If you can't run, if you get sacked, those are things you got to take care of. And number three, it's starting to become an issue, and you hit on it last night, Landon, is the injury bug. Stay healthy. I know this is a game where, injuries are probably your least of your concerns, but you got to think past this week too. If you have another star player go down, you're only setting yourself up for failure. And that's something that hurt this team late in the year last year. All their big players, the D linemen, you look at Riley Mills, like everyone else, there were so many key injuries to big players late in the year. And we're seeing it again throughout the course of this year. Even last year in the early parts, Benjamin Morrison goes down. Like there are many issues with that, and they got to stay healthy. Don't beat yourself with self-inflicted wounds and block. You do those three things, you'll win a football game.
Yeah. My three keys are have to score in the red zone. I thought we've been terrible at scoring in the red zone the last couple of weeks. I mean, we could have hung at least 40 on Boise State, had some opportunities there we missed. Could have hung 50 on NC State. And again, opportunities, fumbling at the 2, 4th and 1, rolling out of the pocket, 4th and 3, rolling out of the pocket. Have to score in the red zone, boys. Number 2, cannot turn it over. USC forces a lot of turnovers, and they score on a lot of those turnovers. Have to protect the football. And lastly, be disciplined. It's a rivalry. I'm fine with some chirping. I don't want to see any late hits. I don't want to see anything stupid. No stupid, unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. I'm not saying go out there and not act like it's a rivalry, but just don't be stupid. So, with that, Notre Dame leads this all-time series 50-37 with 5 ties between the two. The Irish have won 6 straight at Notre Dame Stadium against the Trojans. Last win for USC in South Bend came in 2011, 31-17. After a decade of whooping us, SC has just 4 wins over the Irish since 2010, 2011, 2014, 2016, and 2022. JR, this series has probably been highlighted for us for 2 games. The green jersey game way back in the day. And then, of course, the infamous Bush push. But JR, it's USC, it's Notre Dame. It's always amazing when these two play.
Listen, as maybe in your lifetime, it's those two, but I vividly remember number 1 versus number 2 in the Coliseum in 1988. There's been multiple times where this game has decidedly factored into the national champion at the end of the year. Listen, this team is probably maybe a play or 2 away from being undefeated. How long was the field goal that the kid from Illinois made to beat them?
I feel like it was over 50.
Yeah, I think it was 55. Had they managed the end of that game a little bit differently and not left so much time on the clock, USC's got 2 wins over Illinois and Michigan. Those are 2 really nice wins, and they're probably undefeated. Go back to the beginning of the show where you talked about who has more to lose. I think expectations for USC are much, much lower than they are for us. We have way more to lose than they do. They win this game, they catapult into playoff
100%.
position. So they've got a ton to play for. They win this game, they're looking really good. We lose this game, boy, that's 3 losses, and things are really looking bleak. Notre Dame, USC usually makes or breaks the season, just like it does for a lot of rivalries. You can't play USC and go 1-9, right? You can't do that. It's gotten numerous USC coaches dating far back, right? So we got to win this game. We got to win it convincingly. I think we're an 8.5-point favorite. I don't want to make USC out to be more than they are because they have their problems too. But maybe they've figured a few things out. I think having the Ryan brother there on the defensive side of the ball has brought in a lot of stability and a lot of, let's say, physicality to that side of the ball. A lot of people think USC is this kind of finesse team. Well, they're kind of trying to get back to some of that physical identity itself. So, I saw the Bush push. I've seen other USC games where I think Notre Dame came back from its largest deficit ever in the fourth quarter, and Bob Davie came back and beat them. In the stadium with the Bush push with, your Uncle Ryan and Bob. My sister was in the Coliseum for 88. My dad's seen numerous games where USC running backs were running all up and down the field on us and making us look stupid. So we can't have that happen at home. We can't have that happen on national TV, and we got to win this game convincingly.
I'm not making USC out to be what they're not. I just think they're a damn good football team this year, and I am worried. With that, let's move into the Week 8 picks. The standings are as follows. Whatever. I hate doing this. Last place is Dylan Kearns, 116-43. Myself at 119-40 is in third place. Second place is JR, 125-34. And in first place, trying to go back-to-back, Logan at 127-32. We'll start with our Brian Koberger, prison inmate, game of the week, and it is a doozy. One of Logan's favorite segments. UConn at Boston College, 12 p.m. on the ACC network. The unranked slate is loaded this week, so this truly is one of the worst matchups that I saw. And BC's favored at 1-5.
Oh God. Danny Hurley at UConn, I guess. Sure, on the road. Yeah, sure.
Fun sport, Buck.
Yeah. Keep playing.
Jeez, this game sucks.
I'll go.
Isn't O'Brien at BC?
Yeah, he's not.
He gave a pretty pointed press.
I feel like that's like a dumpster. Yeah, I thought I saw like something where he was. Yeah.
Dylan, right. Your pick, UConn at Boston College. Logan's right. Bill O.B., he might be on his way to the Tennessee Titans, quite frankly.
Give me the Huskies and their quarterback, Fagnano. I think he's great. No interceptions on the year.
Yeah, I'm rolling with UConn on the road as well. I still can't believe how you can buy tickets as low as $9. Oh, I might go. I might take a private jet and go, come back. All right. I still can't believe the tickets for Notre Dame BC are over $250. Nonetheless, we'll move on. Washington at Michigan. We're in our non-ranked slate, and it is loaded this week. Noon on Fox. Michigan's getting 6.5 at the Big House.
I think Michigan bounces back and takes care of business at home.
It's a decent game here.
Yeah.
You're starting to hear some whispers out of Michigan. People saying they want the SIG. A lot of people like the SIG. Landon today likes the SIG. Give me Michigan, but I think it's going to be closer than 6. That's the line.
Line.
Yeah, 6.5. Go ahead and give me the Wolverines.
I like this Washington team, folks. I'm taking Washington over Michigan on the road. Arizona at Houston, 12 p.m. on FS1, a major game in the Big 12. Houston is still alive, technically.
Houston is still alive. I'm gonna go Houston at home.
Arizona road favorites.
Give me Arizona.
So bad at picks. It's these games. You nail it. You get these close lines, these good spots. It's like you sit up and think of this. Go ahead. I'll take Arizona.
I'm going with Arizona as well on this one on the road.
Lone Ranger over there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He
I like it.
He might separate himself. Baylor at TCU, 12 p.m. on ESPN2. Good old-fashioned rivalry in the Big 12. I'm looking forward to this one. It's going to be a damn good game.
Yeah, this will be a good one. Give me TCU.
Same.
Horny Frogs.
I still got to get some leverage on you guys, but I'm clearly not picking them right. Give me the Horny Frogs.
I'm going with the Horned Frogs as well. Give me TCU. Intriguing matchup. It was a contender for prison inmate. However, I think it's going to be a good game. Purdue at Northwestern, 3 p.m. on the Big Ten Network. Purdue coming off a loss. Northwestern coming off of Penn State.
Yeah, Purdue's dog shit. Give me Northwestern.
But they're showing me something lately, man.
They just lost to Minnesota.
Minnesota. And they
Northwestern going to 5-2. Give me Northwestern.
This isn't hockey.
They're competing this year is what I mean, Logan.
The Wildcats.
I got Northwestern in this one as well. SMU at Clemson, 3:30 on the ACC network. It is a rematch of last year's ACC championship.
You got a line?
10.
9.5 Clemson is what I'm reading.
Dabo? Sure.
Somebody going to poach Dabo away from Clemson? They're taking care of their business. They're just going to work their way out of this. Give me Clemson. Maybe handily.
They look good for the first time all year last week. Go ahead and give me Clemson. Or their last game. I think they had a bye last week.
Yeah, Logan is in a bad mood this morning. Give me SMU. I'm taking SMU on the road over BYOG Dabo. UNLV, undefeated UNLV, travels to the Smurf Field at Boise State, 3:30 on FS1.
Baby Blue.
UNLV undefeated, getting 12.5 here. Dan Mullen looking for another big-time job, maybe. Give me Little Boy Blue. We need them to win.
Gosh, 12.5 is a crazy line for
way too high, feels like.
They are not as good as their record shows. If you look at their schedule, I believe it took a miracle to beat Miami of Ohio. So take that with what you will. Who are you going with, Big DK?
I'll go with the Broncos, but they will not cover.
Give me Boise State in this one at home. Last one of the non-ranked slate. We got Pitt at Syracuse. Uncle Pat making a campaign to save his job. This is at 7:30 on the ACC network.
No, let's go Uncle Pat.
Yeah, Pitt.
No Angeli. Big problem. Give me the Panthers.
Yeah, unfortunately, I got Uncle Pat. Don't want to talk too much about it. Here we go on the ranked slate. It is loaded. You ready? I'm ready. Louisville at number 2, Miami, set Friday night, 7 p.m. on ESPN.
Miami at home.
Yeah, Miami.
Head nod.
Oh, wow.
Almost, honestly.
Oh, okay. I got Miami. Number 25, Nebraska at Minnesota, Friday night, 8 p.m. on Fox.
Nebraska.
Line 8.5, Nebraska.
7.5. Give me Nebraska, but watch out here. Friday night home dog. People sniffing around Nebraska, wanting to talk to Rule. He's already come out saying how much he loves Tickle Me Sandusky. So
Yeah, this is not a game to me. Minnesota, they did not look good against Ohio State. Give me Nebraska.
Who has looked good against Ohio State? Give me Minnesota on the road, or excuse me, at home. PJ Fleck, row, row, row your boat. Minnesota wins it. Number 10, LSU at number 17, Vanderbilt, 12 p.m. on ABC.
This is a tricky one. Vandy 2.5 at home.
Right.
He hasn't let me down yet. Give me BK.
we are living in the bizarro world where Indiana football is ranked number 3 in the country with the best win of the season, and Vanderbilt is a home favorite against BK, who many are now suggesting may be looking for a way to get out of Cajun country back east to Penn State. I'm going to go LSU here. I'm going to go with you, Logan. I think they're going to take care of business here, although it would certainly not shock anybody to see Big Game Brian lose this.
Right.
How about this? Clark Lee and Brian Kelly. Little reunion. It's all a joke. Give me BK. Have it your way.
Yeah, I think he's going to have it his way. Give me LSU on the road. We now move on to number 12, Georgia Tech at Duke. 12 p.m. on ESPN. Duke is a home favorite.
Pigs are pigs.
This week is what separates the men from the boys, Logan.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech.
Listen, I'm with you, dude. This game doesn't make any sense, and neither does this line, which makes you wonder, I don't know, is this where Georgia Tech takes their first lump? But to me, just, they're the bigger, more physical, better quarterback. Manny Diaz, he might be looking at Penn State himself. I don't see Duke winning this game. Give me the Ramblin' Wreck. Say it with some confidence, Logan.
Yeah. Jeez, these lines are just scary.
I'll say Duke with confidence. Georgia Tech is not going to be 7-0 after this week. That's a laughing stock.
I'll bet you on that one, Frenchie. Give me Georgia Tech to be 7-0 on come Sunday, or actually come Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. Number 14, Oklahoma at South Carolina, 12:45 of the SEC Network. Oklahoma coming off an embarrassing loss. They didn't score a touchdown last week.
No.
5.5.
God, he loses this. He might be gone too. Must win for Oklahoma. Give me them.
Is Sellers healthy?
Is Mateer healthy?
Right.
Right. South Carolina competed well last week at LSU, 20-10. I don't know if he's playing or not.
Is Mateer healthy?
Here. Yeah, right.
Didn't look healthy last week, I'll tell you that.
You took Oklahoma.
Yeah.
You took Mobile Homa. Yeah, South Carolina, you see, fired his O-line coach this week, Beamer. Yeah, give me Mobile Homa here. They're not very. I said the last game convincingly. This one I'm a little shaky. Mobile Homa.
Say it with confidence.
It's 12:45 start is weird. You put this under the lights, I think it's a completely different ball game in cocky land. Gosh, physical game last week against LSU, rivalry with Kentucky before. Man, give me Mobile Homa.
I think they're done. I'm sick of the fork in Oklahoma at Mobile Home at Oklahoma. I think they're done. Give me South Carolina at home to beat Venables and the Sooners. Number one, Ohio State at Wisconsin. 3:30 on CBS. My God, 24.5 is the line. I think they easily cover that. Wisconsin is awful. We'll move on. Michigan State at number 3, Indiana, 3:30 p.m. on Peacock. The Hoosiers getting 27.5 at home over Sparty.
Little bit of a letdown spot here. Just kidding. Give me IU.
Well,
I don't know if they cover the 27.5.
yeah, listen, are they going to win this game? They should, but like Sig said after beating Oregon, what do you do with it? What do you do with that game now? If you let one go, you lose one. It's really kind of meaningless. Do you have the maturity again to not read press clippings all week, to not, believe everything everybody's saying about you? Sparty, they just lost to UCLA. I see people talking about, is there a path for UCLA now? Is that UCLA IU game loom large? Give me the Hoosiers here, but there's a lot of things swirling around Bloomington that could pose a distraction this week. And it's probably a good thing that it's Michigan State, not somebody else. Because 27.5, they might not cover that. But then again, they may double it.
Right.
Michigan State, this team is bad, no doubt about it. But they 2 quarterbacks last week. They kind of benched Childs. Then they brought in this Mika-Laka-Laka-Check from Naperville. I mean, maybe I'm with Logan. This screams letdown for the Hoosiers. I think they win by like 6.
Michigan State gave them trouble last year in East Lansing. I got IU big here. I think they cover. Number 4, Texas A&M at Arkansas, 3:30 on ESPN.
A&M.
We sat in front of some Tennessee fans at the Notre Dame game last week.
What?
And yeah, their daughter was a student at Tennessee. Shockingly, that was a 3-point game. Are they rallying around Petrino down there? This line is, I think, a little suspect as well. Give me A&M.
Yeah, no more big titty Sam Pitty. Gosh, we had our hog roast. I think A&M gets theirs as well. Give me Texas A&M. That's clean, fellas. Come on.
That was great. That was great.
Accurate. The guy's tits are huge.
I'll take Texas A&M of this one. Number 5, Ole Miss at number 9, Georgia, 3:30 on ABC.
Oh, Georgia at home. Sorry, Lane.
Yeah, they boy. What were they doing? Talk about playing with your food last week. And Wazoo, they were 32.5-point favorites. Give me Georgia at home.
Good pick. Good pick there. Hey, JR, good pick. Good pick there. Good pick.
Played a physical game, Georgia did. I mean, yeah, Ole Miss is a couple plays away from being 4-2. Give me the Dogs. They took Tennessee to OT. That was a big one for them. Come on.
I think Georgia dog walks them, to be honest with you. Give me Georgia big here at home. Number 7, Texas Tech at Arizona State, 4 p.m. on Fox. I'm going to do it. It's a head nod. Arizona State is banged up. They look awful. Give me all of us Texas Tech.
How about this one?
Okay.
IU versus Texas Tech in the national championship game.
What sport?
Right? Exactly.
Right.
Bizarro world.
Sure as
Thank
hell ain't basketball.
Right. Here's another head nod pick for us. Number 22, Memphis fighting for that American Group of 5 spot at UAB, 4 p.m. on ESPN2. Number 8, Oregon at Rutgers, 6:30 on the Big Ten Network. All of us Oregon. And then Washington State at number 18, Virginia, 6:30 on the CW Network. Do you want to do a head nod? I mean, Washington State looked good.
Keep it rolling.
All right, yeah. See, he's cranky today. Number 21, Texas at Kentucky, 7 p.m. on ESPN.
Keep it rolling.
I'm not going to keep it rolling on this one. Number 11, Tennessee at number 6, Alabama, 7:30 on ABC.
Good boy.
8.5.
I don't know if I trust Alabama, but I'm going to take them at home. I would not be shocked if Tennessee steals one here.
I'll go Bama. That quarterback's pretty nice.
Although
These kind of teams seem to give Bama trouble. This style of play.
Yeah.
Tennessee's a mess, in my opinion. They lost that, the one to Georgia. And then after that, they had UAB. Clearly, anyone could beat them. But then they took the Mississippi State OT, had to win an OT there. And then they beat Arkansas by 3. Get out of here. Bama rolls them. Choo-choo.
I got Bama here as well. Roll Tide. Another head nod here. Florida Atlantic at number 19, South Florida, 7:30 on ESPNU. Good old-fashioned rivalry game, actually. And then number 16, Missouri, heads to Auburn, 7:45 on the SEC Network.
Taking JR's boy. Give me Mizzou.
Boy, Auburn kind of got hosed last week.
Yeah.
Kind of. Jeez, they did.
This is basically a pick 'em. Give me Auburn.
Win against your boy, coach.
Yeah, roadie, night, home dog.
Both teams are going to be exhausted. Take the under in here. Like, that's your play is the under. Jeez, both teams after physical battles. I'm going to take the better team, and that's Missouri.
You're right on the under. I do like Hugh Freeze's defenses. Give me Auburn in this one at home. Jordan Hare. Number 23, Utah at number 15, BYU, 8 p.m. on Fox. Whoo, doggy.
Utah not at home. Our beloved Mormons at home. Give me BYU.
Boy, this is a very important game here. Utah 5-1 with their only loss being to Texas Tech. Not that bad. Are they undervalued at 23 there? Yes, they're playing on the road. I don't like Utah there, but it's the Holy War. Focus shall remain. Give me the Utes.
Wow. Yeah. It's another tricky one. You know what? I love a good Cougar. Give me the BYU Cougs.
Yeah, BYU is a couple plays away from being 4-2 as well. They are 6-0. They I think they might be a little fugazi, but I'm going to take them here at home at night. Yeah, give me Michael Jackson, favorite university. And then another head nod, I believe. Number 24, Cincinnati at Oklahoma State, 8 p.m. on ESPN2, which leads us to number 20, USC at number 13, Notre Dame, 7:30 on NBC under the lights at Notre Dame Stadium.
This line has moved to 9.5.
Jeez, why are they doing that to us?
I think it's still too small. Give me Notre Dame 45, USC 17.
Wow. It's funny you say that because I'm going Irish 35-17.
Can you guys look at this? The over under 61.5. Do these guys watch football? I think our defense is good enough to stop them. Our offense is probably going to take some sacks. I think it's a little low scoring here, in my opinion. I'd take the under, and I'd take Irish money line. Parlay it, and you'll be sitting pretty as you drink your Guinness and celebrate an Irish victory at night. I'm taking Notre Dame. Final score, 30-20.
I like the Irish 38-34 in this ball game. Close game under the lights. Both teams playing for their seasons. Give me Notre Dame 38-34. We are back next Monday to recap an Irish victory over the Southern California Trojans. And remember, folks, Catholics have no use for Trojans. We will see you on Monday. Go Irish.